Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting lesson in mathematics. Today we have a little unscrambling to do, and in doing this little unscrambling we'll find out what is our topic. Let's get right into it. Now, if you found out that that word is fractions, you are correct. So for today, we'll be looking at fractions. Now, is there anyone who knows what is a fraction? Let us look at what is a fraction. A fraction represents a part of a whole. It describes how many parts of a certain size there are. For example, a cake that is cut in 2 equal parts shows 2 halves. Objectives. By the end of the lesson, pupils will be able to name one or more parts of the same object using halves through fifths using paper folding technique. Identify the numerator and denominator of a fraction. Place in serial order fractions with the same numerator. Identify and solve real-life situations where fractions are used. Here is my paper. We're going to fold this paper into 2 halves. You can get your sheet of paper and you can fold along with me. Let us go. Always ensure that the 4 edges are touching each other. Then you crease at the bottom. When you open the paper, you'll notice that you have 2 equal parts. This part represents 1 out of the 2 parts. I went ahead and I shaded for you to show what it would look like. 1 part shaded out of 2 equal parts. We can also use paper folding to show a third. Let's get another sheet of paper. You fold your paper like this. And you ensure that the tip that is out is in line with the part that you will be creasing. You make a crease along both sides, then you open your paper and you'll notice that we have 3 equal parts. Now if I am to shade 1 part out of this 3 parts, then we'll have a third. Here is an example. We can also use paper folding to show quarters. We get another sheet of paper and we're going to fold it in halves. Then we fold it in another half. Then we open our paper. Now if you notice, we have 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts making the 1 sheet of paper. Now you can shade a part of it, and this part which is shaded represents a quarter, 1 out of the 4 equal parts. Now here's a little story I have put together for you. Listen carefully. We'll be using some objects, and we're going to see if we can use objects to show fractions. Here is a little story. Azul and Jahim are friends at school. Every day at break time they play together. One day Azul took some marbles to school and he decided that he'll share them with Jahim. In all, he took 20 marbles. Now we're going to share the 20 marbles to see how much one boy will get. Here we have the 20 marbles. 10 green marbles and 10 black marbles. Let's share them. We'll be sharing the green marbles first. And boys and girls, I know you can count by 2. So let's count by 2 and share these marbles. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Azul gets 10 marbles. Azul will get what fraction of the marbles? He will receive half of the marbles. So the remaining half goes to Jahim. There we have them. Let us now look at some examples. This represents a half. Here we have an example, two examples showing quarters, and this represents an example of a third. Let's examine these fractions over here. This represents a half. Over here we have 1/3. This shows a quarter. Over here 1/5 is shaded, 1/6, 1/7, 1/8, 1/9, and 1/10. Now, boys and girls, I want you to look closely at these fractions, and you're going to help me to decide which of the fractions here is the largest. Let's look at them. Apart from the whole that is here, the fraction over here, which is the largest, is the half. So if we were to put these fractions in order from the largest to the smallest, then of course the half comes first. Now, can you look at them for me and tell me which one would come next? Remember now, we are putting them in order from largest to smallest. So we'll have a third, then a quarter, 1/5, 1/6, 1/7, 1/8, and so on. Now, let's turn it around. Suppose we were to order them from the smallest to the largest. Which of these fractions do you think would come next first? Which of these fractions do you think would come first? If you said 1/10, then you would be correct. 1/10 represented here would be the smallest of the fractions shown. The next would be 1/9, 1/8, 1/7, and so on. I'm sure you are getting it, and I'm sure you understand what is happening here. Let's examine these fractions. These are called unit fractions. A half, a third, a quarter, 1/5, 1/6, 1/7. A unit fraction is one part out of the whole. A unit fraction always has 1 as the numerator. Note, when the numerators are the same and you have different denominators, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the fraction will be. Please pay attention carefully. Let's review what we have learned today. What is a fraction? A fraction is a part of a whole. The number that tells what is taken from the whole is called the numerator. Very good. The number that tells how many parts the whole is shared into is called the denominator. Excellent. Now, let me see if you can tell me if this statement is true or if it is false. When we are placing unit fractions or fractions with the same numerator in order, the greater the denominator, the smaller the fraction will be. If you said true, then you are correct. I hope you have a lot of fun doing fractions. Enjoy your lessons on fractions. Thank you.